Yeah, good morning. Good morning, all of you. So, welcome back at IC classes. Basically, in our previous class, we have some technical problem. Due to that reason, the class has not been run with so much good efficiency. Expecting everything good remain good in the today's class. Earlier, I was taking regular classes, but the issue is there was in the last class only. So there may be anything. Now, let's talk about those who have sent good morning to us. Starting with Manish Jain. Good morning, beta. 10:51. Then Anushka, Aditya, B. Dimple, Pramod, Nikita, Tamanna, Surya, RP, Mehak, Swati, Ankita Singh, Ayushi, Akirindeshwari, Anushiri. Good morning, beta. Good morning to all of you. And expecting all will send the good morning or just send their name with anything, whatever they are interested to send. So today's session is going to be start with the fine and a sunny morning today. Actually, in our North India, earlier the environment was too cold. Now we are getting very good sun these days. So expecting the same in all over the India, that you people are also enjoying the sunny days nowadays. In our last lecture, we have started with the concept of, could anyone may remind me whatever we have discussed in our last lecture, beta? क्या last lecture में हमने कहाँ पर छोड़ा था? Where we have left in our last lecture? We were in adjustments, beta. So the thing which we have already discussed in our last lecture, that transactions which are, or the ledger accounts which are appearing in your trial balance meant for those which has already been generalized, and we are going to just show them at 1 plus. Whatever is given in trial balance, it will be shown in trading account or profit or loss account or balance sheet. But it is not possible that any ledger balance which is given in your trial balance will be shown at two places. This is not practically possible. If any ledger balance is given in trial balance, it will be shown only at one place. Only at one place. Only at one place meant for either debit or credit side of trading account, either debit or credit side of profit or loss account, either asset or liability side of balance sheet. So if any transaction is not yet recorded, not recorded, or wrongly recorded, then it is required to be adjusted. Then it is called adjustment. These are called adjustments because these are to be rectified by way of journal entries. So when any journal entry will be passed, beta, जब भी हम journal entry pass करेंगे, so in that case what will happen? Whenever we will pass journal entry, that will have debit and credit both aspect. So in that case it will have double entry, double effect. It will be shown at two places, not at single place. It will be shown at two places, बेटा दो जगह पर उसको हम show करेंगे. Means it may be shown in trading account or profit or loss account, debit side or credit side, and simultaneously it have a second impact in the balance sheet. Means one impact will be in our nominal account, because trading and profit or loss account is a nominal account, and second will be in the balance sheet, asset side or liability side, beta. Like we have discussed about our first adjustment in our previous lecture, that is outstanding expense. So outstanding expense is by nature it's a liability, so it will go to, if it is given in trial balance, it will have single impact. So it will go to balance sheet liability side only. It will not be adjusted in trading or profit and loss account. Why it will not be adjusted in trading and profit loss account? The reason is very simple, which you have to tell me. बताओ भी क्या reason रहेगा बेटा? Why it will be shown in balance sheet liability side only? It will not be deducted or added in the expense. ये expense में इसकी कोई treatment नहीं करेंगे. क्यों नहीं करेंगे? Reason? Anyone may tell me the reason बेटा? कोई भी reason बता सकता है? आप में से कोई भी लोग reason बताओ मुझे. Yes. Given in trial balance only one effect. Very good answer. B Dimple. It's liability. Aisha. Very good answer. Accrual basis. Single effect. It is given. Beta, your formula is okay. That it is given in trial balance, so it will be entered only at one place. Its nature is liability, so it will be entered at one place. But one more thing which you have to keep it into your mind, it has already been generalized. And due to that reason, it has come into the trial balance, and hence when it is generalized, it has already made its impact in your expense account. Because when it was generalized earlier, then the entry was passed expense account debit to outstanding expense. So this entry was passed when it was recorded in the books of accounts. So when it was recorded in the books of account, it has already been added in the expense account, already added. This impact is already given बेटा. ये impact पहले दिया जा चुका है, already done है. और अब क्या है? Expense तो आपका जो given है आपके पास, whatever expense is given to you in your trial balance, that includes it, that already includes it. In that it is already added it. Now outstanding expense is also given in trial balance, so this will be only shown as a liability in the balance sheet. Because first impact is already done, second you have to do. Because this impact is already made in the expense. So this is the logical thing which you have to understand. If I'm going to talk about adjustment, if it is given in adjustment, that is, it is not yet recorded in the books of accounts. So what we have to do? We have to pass this entry. This entry we have to pass expense account debit to outstanding expense account. When we will pass this entry, what will be the impact? Expense is debited. So we know it very well that expense will go to trading or P&L account. Debit side. So when it will go, no, जो actual expense is will be debited in this. In that we will add outstanding expense. This one. So this will be added in it. Simultaneously, it will go to balance sheet and it will go to liability side. Here we have to show outstanding expense account. That's it. Because this journal entry have these two effects. If you will see about this entry, अगर आप इस entry को देखोगे बेटा, तो इस entry के impact ये दो हैं. एक तो ये impact पड़ेगा ये trading and P&L में debit side में जाने वाली है, दूसरा ये balance sheet में जाएगी liability side में. It's not yet paid. But sir, outstanding X को P and I में add to करना सर है सर. Expense को profit and loss में add तो करना है सर. It is not given in adjustment. But when it is given in adjustment, only then it will be added in expense. If it is given in trial balance, it will not be added because this has already been done. In that case, this impact is already given because outstanding expense will come to trial balance only and only when we will pass this journal entry in our books of accounts. When this account has come into the existence in trial balance, this entry was already passed. ये entry उस time पे हो चुकी है बेटा. अगर ये entry उस time पे हो चुकी है तो इसको दोबारा करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Means अगर ये trial balance में given है तो फिर आपको इसको add नहीं करना बेटा. इसको आपने add नहीं करना. कहाँ? Profit loss में trading account में add नहीं करना. ये कब करना है? Only and only if it is given in adjustment. नोट करो अपने पास, लिख लो अपने पास, एक बार, दो बार, घर जाके 10 बार, 15 बार, 50 बार लिखो कि जब भी ट्रायल बैलेंस में कोई आइटम दी होती है उसका सिंगल इंपैक्ट होता है, वो उसकी नेचर से होता है. जो हमने लास्ट टाइम डिस्कस भी करा था कि प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस की नेचर क्या होती है? एसेट तो इसलिए जब भी वो ट्रायल बैलेंस में आएगा तो सिर्फ एसेट साइड में जाए, उसको प्रॉफिट लॉस में नहीं डालना। बट अगर वो एडजस्टमेंट में आएगा तो डालना है। तो प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस की ट्रीटमेंट की बात करते हैं अब। बेटा प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस के लिए भी मैंने आपसे बड़ा सिंसियरली डिस्कस किया था कि अगर ये ट्रायल बैलेंस में है तो इसका मतलब क्या है, क्या इम्पैक्ट रहेगा इसका, वेयर इट विल बी एंटर्ड, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन वंस अगेन। मैं अभी ज्वाइन किया है, नो प्रॉब्लम बेटा, यू मे जस्ट सी द वीडियो लेटर ऑन। तो प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस बेटा जो है हमारा, वो ट्रायल बैलेंस में अगर गिवन है तो आप लोग क्या करोगे, कहाँ डालोगे, आप लोगों ने बताना है मुझे फास्ट। टाइम आपका स्टार्ट हो गया, फास्ट आंसर दो। सूर्य कम्स फर्स्ट, प्रगति कम्स सेकंड, बाकी सब पीछे रह गए। फास्ट 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 फास्ट, भेजो आंसर। सबके आंसर चाहिए, मुझे कोई आंसर से पीछे नहीं रखना चाहिए, बिकॉज आप लोगों के पास एग्जाम में ये केसेस आएंगे और कहीं आप लोग पीछे रह गए तो मेरा नाम बदनाम करोगे। अभी मैंने देखा हमारे एक स्टूडेंट के, जिसने सीए में क्लासेस हमसे ली हुई थी आईसीआई में, तो ही हैज सिक्योर्ड 15th रैंक इन ऑल ओवर इंडिया। तो ये तो गुड न्यूज है आप लोगों के लिए कि आप लोग अगर सिंसियरली पढ़ोगे तो आप लोगों के रिजल्ट अच्छे आने वाले हैं। ज्योति वेरी गुड, प्रगति वेरी गुड, बी डिम्पल वेरी गुड, आयशा वेरी गुड, समीना, विक्की, आदित्य। आदित्य, whenever prepaid expense is given to us in our trial balance, it meant for what it is. First of all तो ये बताओ कि ये क्या चीज है। It is not an expense, let it be very much clear. Expense, simple words is an expense, but when the word prepaid is added to it, it means for this is an expense which is paid in advance. Means work is not done, we have given some payment to someone, given a payment to someone, हमने किसी को पेमेंट दे दी। अब जब हम किसी को पेमेंट दे देते हैं बेटा, तो उस केस में तो वो डेटर बन जाता है मेरा, दिस बिकम्स माई डेटर। सो इफ इट इज अ डेटर, सो वेयर इट विल गो बेटा, इट विल गो टू बैलेंस शीट एसेट साइड, इट विल नॉट गो एनीवेयर एल्स बेटा, इट विल नॉट गो टू एक्सपेंस अकाउंट, सो इट विल नॉट बी एंटर्ड इन एक्सपेंस आदित्य। सभी बाकी जिन्होंने भी बताया है, मुझे लगता है सबको क्लियर है। वेरी गुड। सो व्हेन इट इज गिवन इन एडजस्टमेंट, देन व्हाट विल बी डन, बताओ अभी। व्हेन इट इज गिवन इन एडजस्टमेंट व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, फास्ट। In that case we have to generalize it, that is expense को हमने जनरलाइज करना है। तो एंट्री हो जाएगी प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस अकाउंट डेबिट टू एक्सपेंस। So what it means for prepaid expense account debit, so it will go to asset side balance sheet by nature. Expense account is credited, when expense account is credited, we know it very well, expense always have a debit balance. So if expense have a debit balance, it has been credited, it means for it is to be reduced. So what we have to do in trading and profit loss account, wherever this expense will be entered, we have to reduce this much amount, whatever it is। मान लो 1000 रुपीज है ये, टोटल आपका 20 का एक्सपेंस है ये, उसमें से प्रीपेड जो है मान लो 1000 है, तो ये डिडक्ट कर देना है आपने। इज दैट क्लियर? सो व्हेन विल गो टू बैलेंस शीट बेटा, बैलेंस शीट में वी हैव टू एंटर इट एज ए एसेट, प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस एज ए डेटर, so it will have double treatment। Okay, everyone note it down। In profit or loss account we will not enter it in credit side beta, instead we will deduct it from the respective expense। This is a policy which you have to keep it into your mind। Okay, Very good. So coming to the next part, third expense, that is accrued income beta. Whenever we will talk about accrued income, what means for accrued income? Income which is due but not received. Due but not received beta. This is our income. So due but not received means for what? That means for amount which has been received to, not received to us, but we have earned this income. So if it is given in trial balance, what will be its impact? Where it will be entered beta? कहाँ पर enter करेंगे? It will have single treatment or double treatment. If it have a single treatment, then where it will be treated? कहाँ पर treat करना है इसको? बताओ fast. जल्दी जल्दी फटाफट. Accrued income given in trial balance, what you have to do? It will have single treatment. Always remember, keep it into your mind. याद करो, बार बार याद करो. ट्रायल बैलेंस में आने वाली हर आइटम की क्या होती है? सिंगल एंट्री होती है. कहाँ होती है ये आप बताओगे. ये क्या है पहले तो ये समझ लो. What it means for accrued income means for due with, but not, it is not an income. Let it be very much clear, because the word accrued is added to it. Income is income if it is a single name. Discount received, it is an income, but where it is accrued income, it doesn't mean for income, it is our asset. Let it be very much clear. ये हमारा क्या है बेटा? ये हमारा asset है. So whenever it is an asset, where it will go? Where asset will go? Asset कहाँ जाता है? Exactly right बेटा. Exactly right. Single treatment, go to balance sheet, asset side. Very good. So when it have an, it is an adjustment. So this will go to asset side beta, balance sheet, when it have a single treatment. Next is, if it is an given in adjustment, then what will be the treatment beta? Fast. Very good. I would like to show journal entry of this entry. You have to note it down. What will be the journal entry? You must have to note down each and everything, because note down करने से आपको फायदा होने वाला है. So the entry will be very simple. Income account debit. Sorry. The entry will be so we have to debit accrued income account to income account better. So we know it very well. Income account have debit credit balance. Income account will always have a credit balance. So what will be the impact beta? Very good, very good. Manish Jain comes first. Very good, very good, very good. Shabash, shabash. Nikita, we have to improve ourselves. Let's understand once again. Basically, there is no thing of no word liability in this, because this income is earned by us. Whenever any income is due, whenever any amount is due to be received, it is our asset beta. तो वो तो मेरा एसेट होता है, और एसेट तो एसेट साइड में ही जाएगा. सो एक्रूड इनकम विल ऑलवेज गो टू एसेट साइड. लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर, बिकॉज दिस इज अवर डेटर. दिस means for the amount which is earned but not yet received. So this will become my debtor. This happens when we have invested an amount in the bank. Like bank, I have taken an FD in the bank. I have earned an income of 20,000 on it. So bank is debtor to me, because bank will have to pay this amount to me, because I have invested amount in bank in my FD. So on that I have earned an interest of 20,000. So this is an accrued income for me. So accrued income is a receivable income. So this is an amount which is receivable from others. So this is my debtor beta. तो ये तो मेरा debtor है. डेटर कहाँ जाता है? एसेट साइड में. साइमल्टेनियसली इनकम अकाउंट इज क्रेडिटेड by passing this journal entry. That means for in trading and profit or loss account, we have to do in trading and P&L account, in our income, respective income means just assume ki same interest income is given to us for rupees 50,000. So this is an accrued income which will be added in it plus accrued income. And if no such income is given to us in our trading and P&L account, obviously it will be entered directly. So just assume 20,000 is our accrued income, so 70,000 will be entered. But if no such amount is given, even then there's no problem. We will write here accrued income 20,000 and add it. So another side, that is balance sheet, where it will go, that has already been made clear to you. Here it will be shown in the current assets. This is accrued income beta, 20,000. So this will go to asset side of balance sheet, not the liability side of the balance sheet. Already given in your book also, but we will not have to go for the book. First of all, we have to understand the concept, only then we will go for the book beta. So the next system is regarding your pre-received income. Number of time our income is received in advance to us, that is a payment is made to by someone to us in advance. We have not worked yet, so this is an income not earned but received. So this is the income, this is the amount which is not yet earned by us, this is not due. So if an income is not yet due, it is our liability beta. If an amount is received to us but we have not worked for it, so this will become my creditor, because if I'll not work, this amount is to be refunded by me. So this will be a current liability, hence shown in the liability side if given in trial balance. So if it is given in trial balance, it will go to balance sheet liability side only. Single treatment beta, no double treatment is there. But if prepaid income is given in adjustment, then what you have to do? Just tell me what will be the journal entry. If pre-received income like rent received in advance, rupees 25,000. So what will be the journal entry for this? Fast send me the journal entry beta. फटाफट भेजो. Send me the journal entry. I would like to see the journal entry. I think you people are very intelligent and you can send me the journal entry. This time I am interested to expect an entry from your side. Fast, very good, very good, very good. Omisha Mishra, the name which I have read first time, comes second with this. Manish Chen comes first. Manish Chen always coming first, very good. But I need a competition from others also. So the entry is already sent by the students. I am going to write here for you. This is an entry where amount is received to me. When the amount is received, what entry we are passing in routine? Whenever any amount is received to us, we are passing a journal entry, cash or bank account debit to respective income like rent. But this rent is not a income for us because this is received in advance. So in routine we are passing this entry, but the entry which is to be passed by us at the end of the year for this adjustment will be, this entry has already been passed when the amount is received during the year. So at the end of the year we have to adjust it. At that time this amount is to be reversed, that is rent account debit to प्री रिसीव्ड और एडवांस, रेंट रिसीव्ड इन एडवांस, वी कैन यूज एनी वर्ड बेटा, कोई भी वर्ड यूज कर सकते हैं। प्री रिसीव्ड रेंट अकाउंट with rupees 25,000. So this entry we are passing. Why we are passing this entry? Because when the amount was received, this entry was already passed. During the year, we are not considering this thing whether this amount is received in advance or in routine. We are generalizing in a simple entry. Cash to rent, कैश टू रेंट, कैश टू रेंट, अमाउंट आती जा रही है, हम एंट्री डालते जा रहे हैं, कैश टू रेंट, कैश टू रेंट। साल के एंड में हमने देखा ओहो हो, इसमें से तो 25,000 रुपये हमारा जी एडवांस में आया हुआ है, तो एडवांस में आया तो क्या करेंगे, उसको बेटा रिवर्स करेंगे। क्यों रिवर्स करेंगे? बिकॉज वो तो मेरी इनकम ही नहीं है, तो ये 25,000 रुपये मेरी इनकम नहीं है। बिकॉज हम लोग जो फाइनल अकाउंट्स बनाते हैं वो किस पे बनाते हैं बेटा? हम लोग फाइनल अकाउंट बनाते हैं मर्केंटाइल बेसिस पे, इसे कहते हैं एक्रूअल बेसिस बेटा। हमारे जो फाइनल अकाउंट्स बनते हैं वो मर्केंटाइल बेसिस पे बनते हैं, ड्यू बेसिस पे। सारा सारा ऐसा नहीं होता, ड्यूरिंग द ईयर ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता। ड्यूरिंग द ईयर आप खर्चा कर रहे हो, हमने सैलरी, हमारे पास इंप्लॉई आया कहता मुझे एडवांस सैलरी दे दो, मैंने कहा ले जा बेटा कोई दिक्कत नहीं, सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश, एंट्री डाल दी, खत्म, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, पे करते जा रहे हैं, सैलरी अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश, सैलरी अकाउंट इस महीने नहीं तो अगले महीने एडजस्ट हो जाएगी। अब साल के एंड में मैंने देखा ओ हो इसमें अभी तो मेरी सैलरी जो है एडवांस चली गई। कितनी एडवांस चली गई? मैंने चेक किया कि इसकी सैलरी तो बनती थी 10,000 पर मंथ के हिसाब से, इम्प्लाई की 12 मंथ्स की, 10 इम्प्लाइज है मेरे, तो टोटल पैसे कितने देने थे मैंने तो 12 लाख रुपीज देने थे। तो मैंने चेक किया, सैलरी अकाउंट को चेक किया, ये तो मेरी बनती थी जितनी, जो एक्चुअल पेमेंट होनी चाहिए थी, बट एक्चुअली पे कितना कर दिया मैंने? पे कर दिया है 12,60,000। अब जो 12,60,000 है इसमें से 12 लाख तो पे करना था, ठीक है जायज है, बाकी जो 60,000 वो कैसा मैंने एडवांस में पे कर दिया। तो उसको क्या एंट्री डालेंगे? प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस में लेके जाएंगे। कहाँ लेके जाएंगे? प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस में। इसी तरह से इनकम है, मैंने किराए पर जगह दी हुई है, रेंट पे काम, रेंट पे जगह दी हुई है, मेरा 50,000 रुपये पर मंथ रेंट आता है। अब 12 मंथ्स का मेरा रेंट आना चाहिए था 6 लाख। मैंने एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर चेक किया, जब भी रेंट आया मैंने एंट्री डाली, कैश टू रेंट, कैश टू रेंट। कभी उसने एडवांस में दिया, कभी उसने पहले दे दिया, कभी उसने बाद में दे दिया। साल के एंड में मैंने हिसाब मिलाया तो मेरे पास 6.5 लाख रुपए रेंट आया हुआ था। तो मैंने देखा कि 6 लाख रुपए तो उसका बनता था, ये 50,000 किस चीज के आ गए? 50,000 तो फालतू आए हैं। तो ये फालतू क्यों आए? मैंने चेक किया, ये पिछले साल का पेंडिंग था। किसका था? लास्ट ईयर का पेंडिंग था, लास्ट ईयर वाला इस साल में आया था, बिकॉज लास्ट ईयर मेरा आउटस्टैंडिंग रेंट था। कितना रेंट आउटस्टैंडिंग था मेरा? 50,000। तो वो इस ईयर में मुझे 50,000 आ गया उसका, फिर तो कोई प्री रिसीव्ड नहीं है, ठीक है ना। ऐसे मतलब ये चेकिंग होती है ना बेटा, एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर आप चेक तो करोगे ना कि भैया मेरा काम कैसे चल रहा है। तो लास्ट ईयर का मेरा जो आउटस्टैंडिंग खड़ा था वो मुझे आ गया कि नहीं आया? लास्ट ईयर मेरा 50,000 आउटस्टैंडिंग था, इस साल उसको 50,000 तो ये देना था मुझे, उसके अलावा इस साल उसको 6 लाख रुपीज और देने थे मुझे। तो ये 50,000 तो आ गया, ओके है। तो इसके अलावा 6 लाख रुपए और आ गया, क्योंकि टोटल कितना आया? 6 लाख प्लस 50,000। तो ये मैंने साल के एंड में हिसाब लगा लिया, 650 आ गया, तो ओके है। अगर साल के एंड में मैंने चेक किया और उसके पैसे आए हुए मेरे पास 7.5 लाख रुपए, तो मैंने चेक किया कि 6,50,000 रुपए उसका बनता था, आना चाहिए था। 6 लाख तो इस साल का रेंट था, 50,000 पिछले साल का रेंट पेंडिंग पड़ा था, वो भी लेना था मैंने, मिला के मेरा 6.5 आना चाहिए था, आया कितना? 7.5। तो 1 लाख क्या है? ये प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम होगी मेरी, इसकी मैंने एंट्री डालनी होती है। ये प्रीपेड, आउटस्टैंडिंग, एक्रूड इसी तरह से कैलकुलेट किए जाते हैं। साल के एंड में ना हम हिसाब मिलाते हैं बेटा। ड्यूरिंग द ईयर तो जब भी पेमेंट आ रही है हम डालते जा रहे हैं कैश टू इनकम, कैश टू इनकम, कैश टू इनकम, कैश टू इनकम। और जब एक्सपेंस जा रहा है तो हम एंट्री डालते जा रहे हैं एक्सपेंस टू कैश, एक्सपेंस टू कैश, एक्सपेंस टू कैश, एक्सपेंस टू कैश, सिंपल एंट्री। साल के एंड में बैठ के एडजस्टमेंट एंट्री डाल लेते हैं। एडजस्टमेंट एंट्री अगर उसने खुद डाल दिया, ऑलरेडी डाल चुका है वो, फिर तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, फिर तो वो ट्रायल बैलेंस में एंट्री डालने के बाद, एक्सपेंस पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ने के बाद आपको इम्पैक्ट दे दिया जाता है। अगर उसने नहीं डाली एंट्री अभी तक साल के एंड में, तो हम डाल देंगे। हम क्या एंट्री डालेंगे बेटा? हमारी एंट्री तो सिंपल, हमें तो आती है। आउटस्टैंडिंग की एंट्री क्या होती है? एक्सपेंस टू आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस। प्रीपेड की एंट्री क्या होती है? प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस टू एक्सपेंस। एक्रूड इनकम की एंट्री क्या होती है? एक्रूड इनकम टू इनकम। प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम की क्या एंट्री होती है? इनकम टू प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम। तो वो एंट्री हमने डाल देनी है, उसके हिसाब से हमने ट्रेडिंग एंड P&L में इम्पैक्ट डाल देना है। जैसे मान लो प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम की बात कर रहे थे, तो ये इनकम में से माइनस हो जाता है बेटा, जितनी भी इनकम है उसमें से प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम माइनस करते हैं हम लोग, अगर वो एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है तो साइमल्टेनियसली मैं इसको बैलेंस शीट में डाल दूंगा। कहाँ डालूंगा, ये मेरी लाइबिलिटी है क्योंकि पैसे एडवांस में आ गए हैं, तो करंट लाइबिलिटी मेरी जो होती है उसके अंडर में डाल दूंगा बेटा। यहाँ पर प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम डाल दूंगा। मुझे लगता नहीं अभी कोई प्रॉब्लम रहनी चाहिए, फिर भी है तो बताओ बेटा। समझ लगा सभी को? किसी को भी परेशानी है तो बता देना, अभी कोई घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है। इस बार कोई नहीं रुक रही वीडियो, इस बार कोई नहीं रुक रही हमारी, ठीक है ना? सर एक्सप्लेन इन इंग्लिश लास्ट फ्यू मिनट्स लोड्स ऑफ हिंदी। सर मजा आ गया हिंदी वालों को तो, अब चलो इंग्लिश वालों को भी मजा दिला देते हैं। सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग दैट whenever we are talking about accounting, let it be very much clear. While working during the year, we are passing simple entry like this. If we are paying rent, we are passing entry cash to rent. If we are receiving rent, sorry, cash to rent. If we are paying salary, we are passing entry cash salary to cash. During the year, simple entry is passed, but our accounting is on mercantile or accrual basis. So due to that reason, at the end of the year, we have to make adjustment. Like during the year, I have checked that my salary should be how much. I have checked, I have 10 employees with me who are working with me for 12 months. 10,000 per month is the salary. So the payment should be 12 lakh. But when I checked actual payment in trial balance, it is given 12 lakh 60,000 in our salary account. So if trial balance or salary account shows 12 lakh 60,000, that means for 12 lakhs should be paid. Why extra 60,000 is paid? So this is prepaid expense. So we have to generalize it accordingly at the end of the year. In the same way, I'm talking about rent. Rent is 50,000 per month. I should have to receive 60,000. But actually, how much is received? Actually, I have received 6 lakh 50,000. Just assume it is given in trial balance or in rent account, we can say 6 lakh 50,000. Now I have checked, it should be 6 lakh. Why 50,000 is received extra? Now I have cross checked the previous year balance sheet, means this year to previous year. In that, outstanding rent was pending of rupees 50,000 that I have received in the current year that it meant for. So last year rent is adjusted with it. No pre-received income is there. But if 7 lakh 50,000 is received, I have checked 6 lakh is the rent of current year which is to be received. 50,000 is the rent of last year to be received by to me. So why this extra 1 lakh is received? This is a pre-received income. So we have to generalize it accordingly. है ना? So here we have to treat it. Trading and profit loss account income less pre-received income, balance sheet current liability. Is that clear? But we will not receive pre-received income from current liability. Let it be very much clear. It will be shown in current liability. It will be added to current liability, not deducted from current liability, because this is by nature a current liability. Here it is to be reduced in profit loss account. It is to be reduced from income, not from the current liability. It will be a part of current liability. This is a heading which I am showing. Current liability is a heading. Under that it will be shown. So it will not be deducted. It will be shown under the head current liability. So it is to be added indirectly, I would like to say. Is that clear, my dear Aisha? Anyone having any doubt? Just tell me. मजा आया कि नहीं आया? बस जब बताना आप. हरे कृष्णा. मजा नहीं आया तो बताना भी. This is based on accrual concept. We'll come to doubtful debt. Just wait. I'm just matching it with the notes given to you so that it will be easy for you to review at home also. Just showing that. These closing entries are already discussed. These all things are already discussed. Yeah. Good. So adjustment of inventory of material in hand. Next point is adjustment of inventory of material in hand. So what it is, we all know that number of times in adjustment it is given, because if it is given in your balance sheet, but if stock of inventory स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी और manufacturing stores or any stock I would like to say, if any stock is given in your trial balance, what will be the treatment? बताओ अभी. What is stock होता क्या है? What means for the stock? If stock, there are two types of stock given to us: opening stock and closing stock. We know it very well, everyone knows it. दो तरह का स्टॉक होता है बेटा, एक ओपनिंग स्टॉक होता है, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक होता है, सबको पता है. ओपनिंग स्टॉक विल ऑलवेज बी मेंशन्ड विद द नेम. ओपनिंग स्टॉक विल ऑलवेज बी opening stock will always be mentioned specifically, like uh, just assume we are preparing accounting for 2020 to 23. In that case, he will mention that this is the stock of 1st of April 2022, or he will write the word opening, you know. So or these things will be mentioned by him. If it is opening stock, we all know what is to be done. क्या करना होता है? It will be entered in the trading count, debit side. If it is what? If it is opening stock of goods in which we deal, है ना, जिसमें हम डील करते हैं, उसका ओपनिंग स्टॉक दिया है तो फिर तो ठीक है, हम ट्रेडिंग काउंट की डेबिट साइड में डालते हैं, सभी को पता है. नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स. इफ नथिंग इज मेंशन्ड, इट इज मेंशन्ड ओनली, इट इज क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. दैट मींस फॉर दिस इज क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स. लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर, पक्का कर लो. क्लोजिंग स्टॉक गिवन है तो क्लोजिंग स्टॉक गुड्स का ही होने वाला है. और अगर क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है, इफ क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज गिवन इन ट्रायल बैलेंस, व्हाट विल द ट्रीटमेंट? क्या ट्रीटमेंट होने वाला है बताओ, सारे लोग बताओ. वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, शाबाश शाबाश. अब भेजो दोबारा. इफ क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज गिवन इन ट्रायल बैलेंस, इट विल बी एंटर्ड व्हाट इट इज, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. स्टॉक का मतलब क्या होता है? वैसे बाय नेचर स्टॉक का मतलब होता है एसेट. और जो हमारे पास एट द एंड बचा वो तो ऑब्वियसली मेरा एसेट ही है. क्लोजिंग स्टॉक मतलब क्लोजिंग एसेट. तो जो गुड्स मेरे पास एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर बच गई हैं वो मेरा एसेट होता है. तो इसीलिए बाय नेचर अगर क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है, अगर कहाँ गिवन है नोट करो, अगर ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है, अगर ट्रायल, बोलो बोलो शाबाश, अगर क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है तो ये मेरा एसेट है. तो कहाँ जाएगा? बैलेंस शीट, करंट एसेट, दैट्स इट, उसके अंडर डाल देंगे. नो अदर ट्रीटमेंट एनीवेयर, दैट इज इन ट्रायल बैलेंस, इन ट्रेडिंग काउंट. इसकी ट्रेडिंग काउंट में कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं होने वाली. नोट करो, नोट करो, नोट करो, नोट करो, नोट करो. वेरी गुड. अगर क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है तो उसकी कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं होगी, सिर्फ और सिर्फ वो कहां जाएगा? बैलेंस शीट, करंट एसेट्स. बट अगर क्लोजिंग स्टॉक एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है, कहां गिवन है? एडजस्टमेंट में, then we have to enter, then we have to record it. Then entries trading count debit to closing stock. क्या एंट्री होती है? इसे बुक्स में लाने की एंट्री है, बिकॉज ये एट द एंड ऑफ द ईयर होता है, तो साल के एंड में होता है, इसीलिए इसकी क्लोजिंग एंट्री यही हमेशा बनती है, ट्रेडिंग टू क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. ये किताबों में डायरेक्ट नहीं आ सकता, ये ट्रेडिंग के थ्रू रूट करके आता है, इसका रास्ता है वो. जैसे होता है ना, मैंने दिल्ली जाना है पंजाब से, तो मुझे अम्बाला से होके जाना पड़ेगा. रास्ते में अम्बाला पड़ते ही पड़ता है, पानीपत सोनीपत आएगा ही आएगा. तो ये रास्ता है उसका. तो इसीलिए अगर ये एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है तो इसको ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट में आप क्रेडिट साइड में डाल देते हो, बाय क्लोजिंग स्टॉक पोस्ट कर देते हो, ये एंट्री को पोस्ट कर देते हो. बट क्योंकि ये एंट्री को पोस्ट किया तो इसका एक इफेक्ट तो ये हो गया. दूसरा इफेक्ट क्या होगा? क्लोजिंग स्टॉक भी तो अपेयर हो गया. तो क्लोजिंग स्टॉक कहाँ जाएगा? ये जो सेकंड इंपैक्ट है ये कहाँ डालेंगे? सेकंड इंपैक्ट के लिए आप बैलेंस शीट में जाने वाले हो. कहाँ जाओगे? बैलेंस शीट. बैलेंस शीट में जाओ, करंट एसेट्स में क्लोजिंग स्टॉक को लिख दो। कब? अगर ये एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन। और याद रखो, याद रखो, याद रखो, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक हमेशा एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन होता है। रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर केस में क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ गुड्स जो है ये आपको ट्रायल बैलेंस में देंगे। वो रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर, ये ट्रायल बैलेंस में नहीं देते वो आपको। क्यों नहीं देते? क्योंकि ये जनरल एंट्री डल ही नहीं सकती ड्यूरिंग द ईयर, इसको जनरलाइज करना पॉसिबल नहीं है। बट फिर भी कभी कभार कंफ्यूज करने के लिए देंगे, तो मेरे पास ये आंसर है। अगर ये ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है तो क्या करना है? बैलेंस शीट करंट एसेट्स, कोई और ट्रीटमेंट नहीं करेंगे कहीं भी, नोट कर लो। अगर ये एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है बेटा तो ट्रेडिंग काउंट टू क्लोजिंग स्टॉक एंट्री होती है, इसीलिए क्लोजिंग स्टॉक बाय साइड में जाएगा और बैलेंस शीट एसेट साइड में जाएगा। किसी को डाउट है तो पूछो। क्लोजिंग स्टॉक डेबिट टू ट्रेडिंग काउंट, ओके, सॉरी 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 भैया, माफी कर दो, माफी। ये लो, एंट्रीज क्लोजिंग स्टॉक अकाउंट डेबिट टू ट्रायल बैलेंस। इमोशनल हो गए ना, पढ़ाते पढ़ाते टीचर ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाते हैं। ये टीचर्स की प्रॉब्लम है, पढ़ाते पढ़ाते ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट होना हमारा काम है। अगर हम ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं होंगे तो हम पढ़ा ही नहीं पाएंगे। वेरी गुड, शुक्र है इसी बहाने आप लोगों को चेक, ये चेकिंग है आप लोगों की, आप ये मान लिया करो। You must have assume that teacher is checking you. Whenever teacher is doing any error, that means for he is checking you whether you know it or not. तो इसलिए ठीक है, you people are right. Okay, चलें आगे। चलो, मुझे लगता है आप लोग मेरे से इंटेलिजेंट हो इस एंट्री में, डजंट मैटर। अच्छा, बात कर रहे थे देयर आर अदर टाइप ऑफ स्टॉक आल्सो गिवन इन द ट्रायल बैलेंस। सो if any other type of stock is given in the trial balance, any other closing stock, opening stock we know it very well, that will be added, to the respective expense account. If it is given in trial balance, opening stock, if it given in trial balance, let it be very much clear. If any opening stock is given in trial balance, it will be added to respective expense, added to expense. इसको तो expense में add करना है आपने, that's it. इसकी कोई ट्रीटमेंट की टेंशन नहीं, आपने देख ही लिया। You have already seen that whenever we are talking about opening stock, it is shown in the debit side of trading count. That is obviously it is added to the expense because trading count debit side is the expense side. Clear है? कोई डाउट है तो बता दो। क्लोजिंग स्टॉक की बात कर रहा हूं। So if closing stock is given to us in trial balance, what will be the treatment? Again, all closing stocks will go to balance sheet beta, no other treatment. So it will be entered in the current assets in balance sheet, that's it. No other treatment, no other treatment, कोई ट्रीटमेंट नहीं होने वाला इसके अलावा। बट इफ इट इज गिवन इन एडजस्टमेंट बेटा, अगर ये एडजस्टमेंट में दिया हुआ है तो फिर ट्रीटमेंट वेरी करेगा। फिर ट्रीटमेंट क्या होगा बताओ? इफ क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज गिवन इन एडजस्टमेंट, व्हाट विल बी द ट्रीटमेंट, आप बताओगे? जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ही सेज इन ट्रायल बैलेंस ही हैज गिवन स्टेशनरी 2000, then he has mentioned opening stock of stationery also given in trial balance 500 rupees. In adjustment he has given closing stock of stationery 200. नाउ टेल मी वन थिंग बेटा, हम लोग ये जो प्रॉफिट लॉस अकाउंट बनाते हैं, व्हाई इट इज प्रिपेयर्ड? इन प्रॉफिट लॉस अकाउंट वी आर ऑलवेज रिकॉर्डिंग एक्सपेंसेस which is incurred by us, not the expenses which is not yet incurred. So we have to incur expense incurred, that will be just like stationery consumed during the year. So you have to calculate stationery consumed during the year. So how much is consumed? That is opening stock beta 500 plus purchases of stationery during the year, that is given in trial balance 2000, minus beta closing stock of stationery, that is 200. So net is 2300. Simultaneously in balance sheet, we have to show under the head current asset closing stock of stationery 200 rupees. So this will be the treatment beta. Opening plus purchase minus closing stock. So whenever any closing stock is given in adjustment, the adjustment will be very simple. Opening plus purchase minus closing. Opening plus purchase minus closing. Because concept is very simple beta. We have to enter only consumed, expense consumed during the year, not the expense which is paid during the year. Paid नहीं डालना, consumed डालना. क्लियर है यहाँ तक? This is also one more thing which is given here. Note, next year in beginning, entry number 1 to 5 should be reversed. Very, 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 very important point. जो हम लोग एंट्रीज डाल रहे हैं, अब तक जितनी एंट्रीज बेटा मैंने डलवाई हैं, एक्सपेंस टू आउटस्टैंडिंग एक्सपेंस, प्रीपेड एक्सपेंस टू एक्सपेंस, इनकम टू प्री accrued income to income, प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम मानी इनकम टू प्री रिसीव्ड इनकम, ये सारी एंट्रीज नेक्स्ट ईयर में ओपनिंग डेट को रिवर्स कर देते हैं. ये एंट्रीज क्लोजिंग डेट को डालते हैं, अगले दिन रिवर्स कर देते हैं, बिकॉज ये सिर्फ रिकॉर्ड कीपिंग के लिए होती है. एक्रूअल में फाइनल अकाउंट्स बनाने के लिए एंट्रीज डाली जाती है. हमारा काम है फाइनल अकाउंट बनाना. तो फाइनल अकाउंट बनाने के लिए हम ये एंट्रीज डालते हैं. ये एंट्रीज डालने के बाद हम इन्हें नेक्स्ट ईयर में रिवर्स भी कर देते हैं. ये एंट्रीज परमानेंट नहीं है. अब जैसे स्टॉक के लिए एंट्री क्या डाली, आइटम अकाउंट डेबिट या इन्वेंट्री ऑफ मटेरियल, दैट इज व्हाटएवर द स्टॉक, मतलब क्लोजिंग स्टॉक ऑफ स्टेशनरी अकाउंट डेबिट to stationery account. In the given case, if we have to pass this entry, then the entry is stock of stationery, or you may say closing stock of stationery debit to stationery. So this entry is passed, but this entry is passed just for the closing of accounts. In the next year when we will go, we will reverse this entry, and the entry is always stationery account debit to opening stock of stationery. तभी तो ओपनिंग स्टॉक ट्रायल बैलेंस में अपने आप ही आ जाता है. नेक्स्ट ईयर ये ओपनिंग स्टॉक क्यों ट्रायल बैलेंस में आ जाता है? जैसे हमने ये एंट्री डाली, मैंने एंट्री डलवाई ना आपको, ये एंट्री डलवाई मैंने, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक टू ट्रेडिंग. So this entry will be reversed in the next year. In the next year when we will go, we will pass an entry na trading account debit to stock. This closing stock is named as opening stock. Just the name will change. So in the next year, obviously this entry will be reversed. So all entries are reversed in the next year, whatever we will pass as an adjustment entry. Like talking about these first 5 adjustments or even 6 adjustments, I would like to say. Because he have given 5, I have shown 6, because I have made adjustment of stock also, closing stock also. No? Now talking about this, the most important aspect, bad debts. Okay. Now again I would like to say, ये मेरे हिसाब से करना. Bad debts. Very simple. What is bad debt? If bad debts is given in trial balance, what is its nature? Just tell me, what is its nature? Is it an expense or income? Asset और liability क्या होता है? Bad debts क्या होता है बेटा? शुरू हो जाओ. पिछला क्लियर, अगला शुरू. लास्ट क्लियर हो गया, मुझे पता लग गया, क्रिस्टल क्लियर लिख दिया निकिता ने हमारी. तो वेरी गुड, शाबाश. एक को तो क्लियर हो गया, एक नहीं लिखा क्लियर है, बाकियों ने नहीं लिखा. चलो निकिता को तो क्लियर हो गया. अच्छा मुझे ये बताओ, बैड डेट्स की नेचर क्या होती है और ये कहां जाता है अगर ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है? व्हाट इज द नेचर ऑफ बैड डेट्स एंड वेयर इट विल गो इफ इट इज गिवन इन द बैलेंस शीट, if it is given in the trial balance? Very good answer by, I would like to say who are right. Ayesha right है, डिम्पल, आस्था थोड़ा थोड़ा राइट, थोड़ा थोड़ा गलत, निकिता, आदित्य, प्रमोद, प्रगति, तमन्ना, स्वाति, निकिता, आयशा, मनीष जैन, थोड़ा थोड़ा राइट, आदित्य, इनको इनका राइट है. ठीक है, कुछ का गलत भी है, बिकॉज बैड डेट्स जो है ये लॉस होता है. लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन एक्सपेंस एंड लॉस? एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, ये अकाउंटिंग का बेस है कि क्या होता है एक्सपेंस, क्या होता है. एनी अमाउंट पेड अगेंस्ट टेकिंग सम सर्विसेज और विच इज नोन टू अस. एनी अमाउंट पेड फॉर टेकिंग सर्विसेज और परचेजिंग ऑफ गुड्स, दीज आर एक्सपेंसेस. इसे एक्सपेंस कहते हैं. एनी अमाउंट पेड फॉर टेकिंग सर्विसेज और परचेजिंग ऑफ गुड्स is an expense. Another nature of expense is it is known to us that we have to make this payment. Known to us that we have to make this payment. Talking about loss, loss is what? Any amount which is paid suddenly, that without pre-intimation. Is our loss. ये loss है जिसका पता ही नहीं है. और any amount earlier receivable later converted into non receivable. किसी ने हमारे पैसे मार लिए, हमें कहता पैसे देने ही नहीं मैंने आपको, देने से पहले उसने, इट वाज अवर एसेट. एनी एसेट कन्वर्टेड इनटू loss of value. Loss of value on asset is our loss. Reduction in the value of asset without its actual uses के बिना मैंने यूज किया, रिड्यूस हुआ, डेप्रिसिएशन डालते हैं, उसे एक्सपेंस कहते हैं. बट जो सडनली हो जाता है, जो हमें नहीं पता होता है, विच इज नॉट रिसीव, जो पहले लेने से पैसे बाद में नहीं मिलते, उसको लॉस कहा जाता है. दिस इज अ लॉस बाय नेचर, दिस इज नॉट एन एक्सपेंस. लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर. So bad debts by nature it's a loss. It will go to profit loss account, debit side. That's it. Finished. Now if bad debts are given in adjustment beta. Now tell me what will be the entry for bad debts. Everyone knows it. Bad debts account debit to debtor. This entry is known to every student. So if bad debts are given in adjustment, you have to pass a journal entry. Bad debts to debtor beta. अगर ये एंट्री डालोगे तो क्या होगा, प्रॉफिट लॉस अकाउंट में बैड डेट्स जाएंगे, क्योंकि बैड डेट्स बाय नेचर क्या है, लॉस है। सो लॉस विल ऑलवेज गो टू पी एंड एल डेबिट साइड, बिकॉज ट्रेडिंग एंड प्रॉफिट लॉस की डेबिट साइड में लॉसेज और एक्सपेंसेस जाते हैं। और डायरेक्ट कहाँ जाते हैं ट्रेडिंग में, इनडायरेक्ट कहाँ जाते हैं प्रॉफिट लॉस में, तो ये इनडायरेक्ट है। सो बैड डेट्स यहाँ जाएंगे आपके, वट एवर इट इज। अगर कोई पुराने बैड डेट्स ट्रायल बैलेंस में भी गिवन है तो उसमें ये ऐड हो जाएंगे, अगर ये ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन नहीं है तो ऐड नहीं होने वाले, डायरेक्टली डाल देंगे। बैलेंस शीट में जाएंगे, अब ये डेटर्स में एडजस्टमेंट है। डेटर्स का बैलेंस क्या होता है, हमेशा डेबिट। हम क्या कर रहे हैं, डेटर्स को क्रेडिट। सो हम क्या करना चाहते हैं, डेटर्स को रिड्यूस करना चाहते हैं। तो वट एवर डेटर्स आर गिवन इन बैलेंस शीट, वट एवर इट इज गिवन, we have to reduce from that this much amount whatever is given here minus bad debts, because my target is to reduce it from the debtors. So because we have credited our debtor, this entry's effect is here and this entry's effect is here. जो बैड डेट्स को मैंने डेबिट किया, इसका मतलब बैड डेट्स को बढ़ाया, मैंने इंक्रीज कर दिया, बिकॉज बैड डेट्स लॉस होता है, लॉस का डेबिट बैलेंस होता है, डेबिट को डेबिट करेंगे तो प्लस हो जाएगा। डेटर का बैलेंस डेबिट होता है, उसको क्रेडिट किया तो उल्टा करेंगे तो रिड्यूस हो जाएगा, तो इसलिए रिड्यूस कर दिया, कुछ भी नहीं है, सिंपल है। सो बैड डेट्स क्लियर हो गए, किसी को डाउट है बैड डेट्स का, दोबारा देखो। इफ बैड डेट्स आर गिवन इन ट्रायल बैलेंस, सो बाय नेचर व्हाट इट इज, बाय नेचर it is a simple and simple loss, and loss will always go to profit loss debit side. That's it, finished, और कहीं नहीं जाएगा। नोट करो, दोबारा लिखो, कोई भी आइटम अगर ट्रायल बैलेंस में गिवन है उसका सिंगल इंपैक्ट होता है, वो उसकी नेचर से होता है। नेचर कैसे पता लगेगी, अब नेचर को जानने के लिए आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि हमारे पास या तो कोई एक्सपेंस होता है या लॉस होता है, या इनकम होती है या गेन होता है, या एसेट होता है या लाइबिलिटी होती है। जो एक्सपेंस और लॉस है ये कहाँ जाते हैं, ट्रेडिंग एंड प्रॉफिट लॉस की डेबिट साइड में जाते हैं। इनकम और गेन कहाँ जाते हैं बेटा, ये सारे जाते हैं ट्रेडिंग एंड प्रॉफिट लॉस की क्रेडिट साइड। मैं नए पेज पे लिखता हूँ, देखो ये नेचर समझो। ट्रायल बैलेंस में जो आइटम्स गिवन होती है वो बाय नेचर जाती हैं, तो इसका मतलब ये बनता है कि अगर हमारे पास कोई भी एक्सपेंस है, मतलब उसकी नेचर एक्सपेंस है या लॉस है नेचर उसकी, तो वो सारे कहाँ जाएंगे, वो ट्रेडिंग में या पी एंड एल की डेबिट साइड में जाने वाले, याद रखो। प्लस ही होंगे, उसमें माइनस नहीं होने वाले। अगर कोई इनकम है या गेन है, ये ट्रेडिंग एंड पी एंड एल की क्रेडिट साइड में जाने वाले हैं और कहीं नहीं जाएंगे। उसका दूसरा तरीका ये भी हो सकता है कि ये उसमें जाके इनकम में ऐड हो जाए, पुरानी इनकम कोई है तो उसमें ऐड हो जाए, वो एक अलग ही बात है। अगर कोई एसेट है तो हमेशा कहाँ जाएगा, बाय नेचर बैलेंस शीट एसेट साइड में बेटा, सिंगल ट्रीटमेंट। अगर कोई लाइबिलिटी है तो बैलेंस शीट लाइबिलिटी साइड में। अगर कोई प्रोविजन है या रिजर्व है, नॉर्मली अगेंस्ट लाइबिलिटी अगेंस्ट एसेट होते हैं, प्रोविजन या रिजर्व अगेंस्ट एसेट। एसेट के अगेंस्ट रिजर्व क्रिएट किया जाता है, उसके अगेंस्ट प्रोविजन क्रिएट की जाती है, तो इसलिए भी बैलेंस शीट लाइबिलिटी साइड जाएंगे या एसेट में से माइनस होंगे, या तो इसको एसेट में से माइनस करेंगे या बैलेंस शीट लाइबिलिटी साइड में चले जाएंगे, दैट्स इट। तो ये बाय नेचर है, नेचर को समझने की कोशिश करें। अब बात आ गई, अगर ये एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है तो ये ट्रीटमेंट तो होनी ही होनी है जो मैंने बताई है। अगर एडजस्टमेंट में होंगे तो ये ट्रीटमेंट तो होनी ही होनी है, साथ में एक और होगी। वो क्या होगी, वो बाय एंट्री देखना पड़ेगा, वो कंसेप्ट से समझना पड़ेगा, उसी को याद करने की समझने की हम बारंबार कोशिश कर रहे हैं। We are trying to learn that where it will be treated at the second point that we are trying to learn. Very good, very good. If balance sheet given in trial balance, then if balance sheet is given in trial balance, then it will go to, if bad debts, sorry, bad debts are given in trial balance, then it will go to profit and loss account, debit side only, only and only, और कहीं नहीं जाने वाले। Weightage of this chapter is too much. I'm translating everything into English and Hindi both. You need not to worry, Masthan. Whenever I am speaking Hindi, you must have to remain, मतलब you must have to remain silent. अपना, you must have to keep your mind silent. Be relaxed at that time. Okay, Masthan, you must have to be relaxed when I am speaking in Hindi, because when whatever I am speaking in Hindi, I'll explain it in English also. It is mandatory for me, for your benefit. So you need not to worry. But when I'm speaking anything in Hindi, na, it means for I'm giving a mother tongue touch to those students whose pure mother tongue is Hindi. They are trying to understand everything in English, but even then, the basic point is, even then, the problem is they are not feeling confident when I am speaking in English and English only. When I'm translating anything into Hindi also, na, they feel very, very, very impressive. So I must have to keep them with me also. And you are always with me because for you, I am speaking English only. Otherwise, there is no requirement of speaking in English. Okay. You people, those who are unable to understand Hindi, I am speaking for them in English only. Na? So, need not to worry. Chalo. Coming back, talking about provision. So, provision for bad debts or doubtful debt. One and the same thing. There's no difference between provision for doubtful debt or provision for bad debts. These both are one and the same thing. Don't worry about this thing. Now, if it is given in trial balance, that means for this provision has already been created. When it was created? Because provision is always created at the end of the year. Provision is always created at the end of the year. So how it has been created and how it comes to trial balance? This meant for basically this is the provision for when trial balance, when provision is given in trial balance, then it meant for this provision is of last year. This is the old provision. That is last year. So this provision was created in the last year. It is to be reversed in the current year. So this is to be reversed in the current year. In current year. Very simple. Funda samjho. Let's try to understand this thing that this provision meant for what? Provision hoti kya? Provision meant for an expectation that this much loss will occur to us in future. कि ये future में मुझे loss होने वाला है. Talking about debtors, at the end of the year, I have seen that I have debtors worth rupees 1 lakh with me. So I have debtors of 1 lakh. Now, I think, I expect that this amount of debtor will not be recovered in the next year. What will happen? I expect 10% may not give me the payment. By way of anything, they will not give me the payment. So I am expecting a loss of 10,000 in the next year. But as this sale is entered in this year and treated as an income in the current year, you know it very well now from where debtors come. Debtors come from the sale. Debtors come from the sale. बोलना है मेरे साथ. मैं क्यों बोलता हूं ऐसे बार बार? दिमाग खराब नहीं है. आई एम स्पीकिंग अगेन एंड अगेन. क्यों? सो दैट यू मस्ट हैव टू स्पीक विद मी. बोलो, साथ में बोलो. साथ में बोलोगे याद हो जाएगा, समझ लग जाएगा और आप लोग अकाउंट्स में टॉप करोगे. यू विल टॉप इन अकाउंट्स इफ यू विल रिपीट एवरीथिंग विद मी. Because I have seen that when I am teaching, art students are also become topper in accounting. So you need not to worry. Be confident. Now, if an income is entered in this year, how its loss will be entered in the next year? Our matching principle creates a problem. Matching principle tells us that if we are entering any income in current year, its loss should also be entered in the same year. So due to that reason, if we are expecting that we have made a sale of 10 lakh in the current year, out of which 9 lakh is recovered, 1 lakh is still pending, but this 10 lakh is already entered in the trading count credit side as an income. So I am expecting that this 1 lakh will be recovered in the next year. So due to that reason, I am entering in my trading count rupees 10 lakh. But actually, I think that 10,000 will not be recovered. So I must have to reduce that amount from this sale of 10 lakh. How it will be reduced bit? How it will be reduced? I'll have to enter in the profit or loss account as a loss. In the debit side of profit or loss account, we are recording provision for bad debts. Whenever provision is given to us, it is to be recorded if it is given in adjustment. Talking about adjustment only, beta. दोबारा से देख लो एक बार. Just see it once again, beta. Repeating the story once again. What was the story? Actually, what happens whenever we are going for the matching principle tells us that if we have earned an income in the current year, its loss or expense related to it must be entered in the same year. So due to that reason, if sale of rupees 10 lakh is entered in the current year, we are expecting a loss of 10% on it. Then how it happens? 9 lakh is recovered in the current year. 1 lakh is still pending at the end of the year. I expect that 10,000 will not be recovered. So this will come to us, come to our knowledge only after closing our books of accounts on 31st of March. So this will be given in adjustment. This type of 10% provision will given in adjustment. Okay, beta. So if provision is given in adjustment, if any provision is given in adjustment, what it means for provision given in adjustment? What it means for this means for this is a closing provision. This is a closing provision. So this to match it with the current year income, what we have to do? We have to make a treatment. What will be the treatment? Treatment will be very, very, very simple. We have to record it in profit or loss account, debit side as a loss, provision for bad debts. This is a closing provision. Let it be very much clear. What is a closing provision? Note it down. Provision given in adjustment is a closing provision. Simultaneously, it will go to balance sheet because it meant for my debtors of rupees 1 lakh will not continue. Debtors are given for rupees 1 lakh. I already considered that the bad debts will occur. This is closing provision. Or we can say provision for bad debts given in adjustment. This is rupees 10,000. So net bad debts to be entered rupees 90,000. And this is to be entered here. One thing should be very much clear to every student. Repeat it in your mind. Note it in your copies properly. If provision is given in adjustment, it means for this is a closing provision, which is to be recorded as go to profit or loss account. It will be recorded in debit side as a loss because it is a loss. It will occur to us in future, but prudence concept tells us that if we are expecting any loss in future, it must be entered in the books of accounts now. Do not anticipate gains, provide for probable losses is a concept. Simultaneously, our asset will reduce with the same amount. But in the next very year, that is in the next year, what will happen? We have to reverse it. We have to reverse it. So when it is reversed in the next year, it will automatically shown in the trial balance, because when we have created it, we have passed the journal entry. What will be the journal entry? Journal entry is very simple. Provision, this will be debtor आपका जो है the entry will be provision for bad debts debit to debtor account. So this will be entered as this. In the next very year, it is reversed. That is provision for debtor account debit to provision for bad debts. So when this journal entry is passed, what will happen? It will automatically goes to trial balance. It will goes to trial balance. So if any provision for bad debts is given in trial balance, that means for this is a bad provision of previous year, which is reversed in the current year. So due to that reason, if provision for bad debts is given in trial balance, beta, it will have single treatment because it has already been added to debtors, already done. When it is generalized, it is already done. So we need not to do it. हमने नहीं करना कुछ भी. What we have to do is we have to go for trial balance. If it is given in trial balance, we have to go to profit or loss account only and show it in the credit side, because now this loss is to be reversed. So when it is to be reversed, it is to be shown in the credit side. Provision for bad debts, it is to be shown in the credit side. But what we are doing, we people are reducing it from the debit side. We may do anything, there's no worry. Actually, it will have to be credited. It will always have a credit balance when it is given in the trial balance. When it is given in the trial balance, it will always have a credit balance. That means for it is to be entered in the credit side of profit loss account. But for making combined adjustment, we are doing it. We are reducing it from the debit side. So one and the same thing, either you may enter in the credit side, there's no worry, there's no problem, or you may reduce it from the debit side. It's up to your choice. दोबारा से देखो कि अगर ये प्रोविजन फॉर बैड डेट्स आपको एडजस्टमेंट में गिवन है तो ये करना है. आपके सामने आ गया. Exactly, Manish Chan, both are not similar, but both have similar treatment. Masthan, obviously we are reversing this provision in the next year by expecting this thing that if debtors will pay the full amount, there must not be any provision remain in the books of accounts. So the provision is created just to convert your accounting into accrual basis on mercantile basis, nothing else, because all entries are passed, just an adjustment entry which is to be passed and reversed in the next year. So you have seen that I have passed this entry provision for bad debts to debtor account in the 1 year, and in the next year we have reversed it. Due to that reason, what will happen? Whenever it is given in adjustment, that means for this is to be treated by this way: profit or loss account debit side as a loss, balance sheet debtor में से reduction reduce it from the debtor. And if it is given in the trial balance, what it means for, in that case, that means for it is to be entered in the credit side of profit or loss account as a income, because it has already been debited in the previous year. All provisions have credit balance. Provisions on assets have credit balance. Provisions on liabilities have debit balance. So provision is normally created on asset, due to that reason it will have a credit balance. Any problem? So have a break and then we will come back. ठीक है सर, ब्रेक ले लेते हैं. Welcome back after the break, beta. So let's go for illustration number 4 to understand this concept of bad debts and provision for bad debts. See, here it is. So on 1st of April 2020, provision for bad debts existed at 40,000. So what it is? This meant for the provision which is created in the last year and brought down in the next year. So this is a provision which is of that provision which is given in trial balance. This will be given in the trial balance. So this will go to where it will go. This will go to profit loss account, credit side, single treatment. Now, no, just a moment. Just a moment. I'd like to see that whatever is given. First of all, read the question in full. It will be helpful. On 1st of April, provision for bad debts existed at 40,000. Trade receivable were 15 lakh. Bad debts totaled 1 lakh. Required to write off the bad debts and create a provision equal to 5% of the trade receivable balance. Okay, good. So that I have already discussed with you that this 1st April balance is what? This is the balance which is I would like to say this is a mistake. Just a moment. Yes, there is a mistake. Rectify in your books. Better rectify it in your books. Even I would like to send it to ICA for rectification. This is an error in here. It should be 2019 beta. Okay. Beta, I would like to note it down so that it should be sent to ICA for rectification. Okay. So it should be 19. Okay. Which is already known to all of you because we have already discussed these things now. And even you may check it out that is that whatever I'm saying is 100% right. You can also check it out from here. You may see here it is. While preparing account, he has already mentioned that this is buy balance brought down 40,000 on 1st of April 2019. So in solution it is right, but in question it is wrong. So I've already discussed with you. So this will go to beta profit or loss account, credit side, 40,000 rupees. That's it, single treatment, because it will be given in trial balance. Now talking about bad debts, talking about debtors of rupees 15 lakh, bad debts of rupees 1 lakh. This bad debts will also be given in trial balance, and this will have a single treatment, profit loss account, debit side beta. Talking about provision for bad debts, it is required to be write off the bad debts and create a provision equal to 5% of the trade receivable balance. It is required to write off. Okay. So here one thing is very important. He says it is required to be write off. It means for it is not yet written off. It is not yet written off. So this is not given in trial balance. This will be given in adjustment beta. Because if it is already written off, that means for it has been generalized. So it is given in trial balance. Here he says it is required to be written off. It is required to write off the bad debts. So it is not yet entered. So when it will be entered, what will be the treatment? Treatment will be double treatment. It will go to profit loss debit side. This 1 lakh, I am talking about 1 lakh. Simultaneously, it will be reduced from the debtors. 15 lakh minus bad debts 1 lakh beta. So net debt bad debts worth net debtors worth rupees 14 lakh is there. Now while creating provision, you have to take net debtors. because provision is always calculated. Provision for bad debts is always calculated on net amount of debtors. That is debtors after making all adjustments, whatever is there. So 14 lakh is the amount on which this will be calculated into 5% beta. So it will be 70,000. Again, it will have double treatment because this 70,000 is to be treated at two places. One is it will be entered in the profit loss account, debit side, provision for bad debts, 70,000. Simultaneously, it will go to balance sheet. It will reduce from the debtors. So in balance sheet, we have to reduce from debtors worth rupees 14 lakh because 1 lakh is already reduced. So minus 70,000 will be further reduced. So the debtors balance will be 13 lakh 30,000 beta. Note it down first. Then I'll discuss everything once again. First of all, profit this 1 lakh this 40,000 will go to profit loss credit side as already discussed. Then talking about this 1 lakh, as it is mentioned, it is required to be written off. If it is mentioned, it is written off. It is already written off. Yeah, it is written off. Then it means for it will go into profit loss debit side only because in that case it will have single treatment because in that case we will assume that it is given in trial balance. Here it is not shown that this is given in trial balance, this is not given in trial balance, but concept helps you to understand this. Your concept, your knowledge helps you better. So it is required to be written off. That means it is yet to be generalized. So when it will be generalized, it will have two impacts. One is it will reduce from debtors. Second, it will go to balance sheet asset side. So that I have done. I have reduced it from the entered in the profit or loss account debit side. Simultaneously, I have reduced it from the debtors. Now we have to create a provision of 5% on debtors. While creating provision, you have to take debtors after making all adjustments. Maybe more adjustments may be there. There may be some more adjustments. You will have to make all the adjustments, whatever is with you. So this 14 lakh will be used to calculate that 5% beta. So this is 70,000. Now, what will be the treatment of this one? This is again profit loss provision for bad debts given in adjustment. So if it is given in adjustment, it will have double treatment. One is it will go to profit loss on debit side. Second, it will be reduced from the debtors. So that I have done. I think this is all clear to every student or not? Yes, sir. You saying 10% right, 100% right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for confirmation. Okay. Just tell me from where you are. थोड़ा हटके बात करते हैं स्टडी से 2 मिनट के लिए. आप कहाँ से हो? Send me your cities and state because I think I doesn't know every city of India. So tell me from where you are. Fast. तब तक ये नोट डाउन करो जिन्होंने नोट डाउन कर लिया. वेरी गुड. आंध्र प्रदेश. वेरी गुड. Oh, 1,33,000. 1,33,000 is it is 13,30,000 beta. It is debtors are total rupees 15 lakh, out of which 1 lakh will be the bad debts given in adjustment that will be reduced. Then 70,000, 14 lakh. Yes, 70,000 is the 5% provision in it that will also be reduced. So this is 13,30,000 beta. Jyoti, Ludhiana. Very good. I am also from Ludhiana. Good. Mumbai. Very good. Taj. Oh, very good. यार मजा आ गया. Agra. Mysore, Karnataka. Mysore is the name which is famous with Tipu Sultan. Kerala, Kannur, very good. Yesterday we were talking about Kerala. Maharashtra, Bid, very good. Mirzapur, Uttar Pradesh. Vadodara, Gujarat. Chittor, Andhra Pradesh. 40,000 provision. I would like to explain. There's no worry. Gorakhpur, okay. Odisha, Sambalpur, city of Taj, Agra, very good. Panipat, वेरी गुड. कानपुर, मिर्जापुर. मजा आ गया यार, नाम सुन के मजा आ गया. आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड आफ्टर रीडिंग दीज नेम्स. वेरी गुड. चलो, आई एम नाउ अगेन एनर्जेटिक. See once again, beta, whenever provision is given in to you, whenever any provision is given to you, let it be very much clear. This provision is the provision which has been created in the last year, beta. Always remember this. If provision is given in trial balance, or you may say provision is ye galat hai, this is wrong. So what do you have to do? We have to write rectify it. It is 1st April 2019. Let's see. This is the trade receivable on 31st of March 2020. So this is obviously very much clear. This is the opening balance of provision. This is the opening balance of provision. So when provision was created in the last year, like this provision to be created in this year, in the same way it was created in the last year. What we have done, we have assumed it as a loss and entered in the debit side of P&L account. So what we have to do, we have to do reverse. In the next year, we have to do reverse. So what we have to do, we have to credit it to profit and loss account. That's it. Because these provisions are created just to make single adjustment. Even I would like to tell you, whenever any outstanding liability we are talking about, this outstanding liability is also created for one day. This is reversed on the very next day. So these are all things, but I am not discussing all these things because these are not required, but provision is always required. All entries are reversed on the very next day. So due to that reason, Kanpur, Bangalore, Patna, maza aa gaya. Prayagraj, very good, yeah. I am also interested to come Prayagraj once. वैसे I am interested to visit every state and every city because this is my dream. I have already visited many places. AP I have already visited. Andhra Pradesh. Yeah, I have visited. I have visited many places. Really good. Is a debit to P&L? No, no. This 13 lakh 30 no, I'm talking about this will go to balance sheet because this is a balance of debtors account. So this will go to balance sheet beta, and this will go to P&L account. Now let's consolidate this. Chalo, enjoyment काफी हो गया. Now come to the working. Now when profit or loss account is prepared, in that we have to enter like this: bad debts. So what we are writing, whatever bad debts are given in trial balance, we are writing it first. Plus we are making bad debts in adjustment. Like in the given case, it is given 1 lakh. Plus we are creating provision. We are writing provision given in adjustment. Like in the given case, it is 70,000 because it is debited to P&L account, so we are adding it. Less we are doing provision which is given in trial balance. This is the opening provision. We may call it opening also. So this is normally entered in the credit side of P&L account, so we can reduce it from the debit side also. In the given case, it is to be reduced. It is up to your choice. You may either reduce it or you may enter in the credit side. It is your choice. This may be entered in the credit side also, but you may do it as a reduction also. So this is the final amount which of bad debts after making all the adjustment. And simultaneously, when we will go to balance sheet, you will see what we have to do. Whatever debtors are given to you, like 15 lakh is the amount of debtors given to you. You have to reduce from it bad debts. Which one? Whatever is given in adjustment, not those which are given in trial balance. So this will be reduced 1 lakh minus we have to do provision. Which one? Which is given in adjustment, not which is given in trial balance. So now you may remember it. याद भी कर सकते हो इसको. The most toughest adjustment in final accounts is this one only, which I have simplified for you. देखो, whatever is given in adjustment will come at two places. You may see here, this will come at two places. Okay, this will come at two places. Whatever is given in trial balance, that will come at one place only. First thing you have to memorize this. So talking about bad debts, if it is given in trial balance, it will be added or debited to P&L account. When talking about provision for bad debts, it will be credited to profit and loss account or a reduction from bad debts. Now you may memorize it. बेटा अभी याद कर लो, इससे ज्यादा दिमाग पे बोझ ना डालना. जितना डल गया, समझ लग गया, अच्छा लग गया. नहीं समझ लगा, याद करो, काम खत्म करो. हमने कौन सा सारी उम्र इसी पे काम करना है। जैसे ही आप बड़े हो जाओगे, थोड़ा सा और आपका माइंड डेवलप होगा, आपको ये समझ लग जाएगा। मुझे भी शायद मुश्किल लगता होगा मेरी स्टडीज में, बट आज की डेट में मेरे लिए ये टिप्स पे है, मिनटों में मैं बता देता हूँ। आप मेरे से जितने मर्जी क्वेश्चन इस बारे में पूछो, घुमा घुमा के पूछोगे, मैं बता दूंगा। आप भी डेवलप हो जाओगे। याद कर लो अगर मुश्किल लग रहा है। डोंट वरी। शिलोंग, दरभंगा, वेरी गुड। धीरे धीरे नाम बता रहे हो। हिसार, इजी पैसा, लेमन सिक्यूजी है। गुड। So I think all this is very easy if you will understand this. Now I'm going to make it in a different way. The presentation I'm going to change now. If we are going to prepare provision for bad debts accounts, because these may come into your exam, due to that reason I have to discuss each and everything. Let it be very much clear. Format. चलो दोबारा बना, थोड़ा सुंदर बनाएंगे। First of all, just write it down. Whatever we are doing, date, particular, amount, currency. Nowadays students, these chartered accountants and the accounting professionals are earning very good handsome amount from the work which they are getting from abroad also. So now a time you need not to understand the accounting, practical accounting of India only. You should have to understand the practical accounting of abroad also, their softwares also. In that case you will be the expert, because I am practically training for each and everything and I am just enjoying it. Yeah, a few days back I also trained to some person who are working in E&Y, Price Water Cooper House. They have got practical training and they are getting very good work. So practical knowledge is must. Now, what is the concept of provision for bad debts? First of all, it will have a credit balance, whichever that is the opening balance, which will be given in the trial balance. So whatever is given in trial balance, it will be entered as opening date. Okay, by balance brought down. This will be the balance which will be given in trial balance that I've already discussed. Like in the given case, it is 40,000 beta. Then we have to enter closing provision to balance carried on. This is a closing date. This is already done by us, 70,000. Then you have to enter whatever the bad debts are there, we have to write it off here. Here we have to enter both. Either it is given in trial balance or adjustment. Like here it is given only 1 lakh for both. So this is on closing date. This is also on closing date by profit and loss account. This will be the balancing figure. This will be 1,30,000. So this is another way of presentation. In that case, you need not to make these adjustments. Whatever adjustments we have done in this profit or loss account, instead, whatever the amount, that is 1,30,000, which has been resulted, that you may enter directly by preparing provision for bad debts account. What we have done in this account, We know it very well that provision for bad debts 40,000 have always a credit balance. So it has been created here by balance brought down. We note that these two have a debit balance. These three, trial balance, bad debts given in trial balance, bad debts given in adjustment, and closing balance. These all have a credit balance or debit balance. So these are debited here. Two balance, bad debts, two balance carried on. Whatever is the balance sheet figure that will be transferred to P&L account by P&L account 1,30,000. This is another way of presentation. I think this is very much clear. If you will see, we have just debited it and we have created it and balance sheet figure is correct. This is another way. This will come as a balance sheet figure. तो इसको भी याद कर सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. क्लियर हो गया तो बताओ, क्लियर हुआ, नहीं क्लियर हुआ तो बताओ. If everything is clear, good. If it is not clear, just tell me. This is based on some journal entries. Let's talk about those journal entries also. Actually, this journal entry is already made clear to you. This journal entry is already made clear to you. For this, we have another entry, that is provision for bad debts. Debit to bad debts. That is, whatever the bad debts are given in trial balance or adjustment. For that, we are passing another one entry for this purpose, for making final adjustments. So this may also be done. ये आपकी बुक में करा हुआ. This has already number of times he demands from you कि बेटा do one thing, prepare provision for bad debts account. हम डर जाते हैं, पता नहीं क्या हो गया. There's no worry, you need not be scared, just do it. Very simple concept से चलो. Buy balance brought down किया, opening balance को, to balance brought carry down किया, closing balance को. टू बैड डेट्स डाले, ट्रायल बैलेंस वाले भी एडजस्टमेंट वाले. इससे ज्यादा एडजस्टमेंट इसमें आती नहीं है. देयर इज नो मोर एडजस्टमेंट एक्सेप्ट प्रोविजन फॉर डिस्काउंट ऑन डेटर्स व्हिच वी विल डिस्कस नाउ. आई थिंक दिस इज ऑल क्लियर. यू हैव नोटेड डाउन. चलो, नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट प्रोविजन फॉर डिस्काउंट ऑन डेटर्स. सेम एज provision for doubtful debts or bad debts. This is one and the same thing. That means for if provision for discount on debtors is given in trial balance, what you have to do? Just tell me fast. बताओ, बोलो. If provision for discount on debtors is given in trial balance, what you have to do? क्या करोगे उसको? Fast answer दो. Provision for doubtful debt given in trial balance, what you have to do, beta? Fast, shabash. YouTube पे जो लोग देखते हैं, those who are seeing at YouTube, okay, they may also do one thing, na? They may also go for SSP portal and app also, and in that they may send me the queries. There's no problem, है ना? So remaining you may give feedback also there by giving the thumb impression. That is also given. अपनी फीडबैक सुन के मजा बहुत आता है लोगों को. मुझे भी आता है, क्योंकि वो अच्छी होती है, बुरी नहीं होती. क्योंकि अगर कोई गलत देगा, अगर कोई बुरी देगा तो वो बताएगा कि हाँ जी बेटा ऐसे इंप्रूव करो, तो आई विल डू दैट. और जो अच्छी देगा तो वो तो खुशी की बात ही है. वेरी गुड. सो दिस विल बी okay. So students have sent the answer. Very good. Reduce from debtors. No. So beta, if it is given in trial balance, what you have to do? We have already discussed this thing, that if provision for, that I have discussed now. If provision for bad debts are given in trial balance, then what you have to do? You have to credit it to P&L account. That we have already discussed. And if provision for bad debts are given in trial balance, what you have to do, beta? It will be credited to P&L account. So the same treatment is here, na? The same treatment is here, na, beta? What you have to do? If provision for discount on debtor is given in trial balance, it means for it have a opening balance. This, what it is? This is opening balance, and it will be credited to profit or loss account. or in other words we may reduce it from the debit side. That is up to your choice, but we will better go for profit or loss from credit side only. Okay. And if it is given in adjustment, again same treatment, whatever is of the treatment of your previous one, same treatment. If it is given in adjustment, what will be the treatment? It will be debited to P&L account, and simultaneously it will be reduced from debtors. It will be reduced from debtors. That's it. Two treatments only, nothing else. I think this is very simple and easy. Very good, very good. Deduct from debtor after providing. Yeah. Now how to get it? Number of times we have to calculate it, because in that case also percentage is given to you. So how this amount will be calculated? If it is given in adjustment, then amount is to be calculated by us. So how to get the amount? Because it will be given in percentage. So adjusted debtors means debtors after making all adjustments, whatever is given to you, less provision for adjusted debtors meant for what? That is, if any adjustment of debtors are there, like he says there is an error in debtors, then we have to rectify it. Obviously we have to pass rectifying entries, no? Or if any further bad debts are there, that is a bad debts given in adjustment, then that is will also be reduced. Provision for bad debts given in adjustment, that will also be reduced. After then whatever is the amount into rate by 100. Adjusted debtors after all adjustments. That is all rectifications and bad debts given in adjustment. Because whatever bad debts are given in trial balance, that is already registered, that we need not to do. But those which are given in adjustment, that will have to reduce. And also we have to reduce the provision for bad debts which is given in adjustment. But whatever is given in trial balance, that will not be done, because we have already discussed here that provision for bad debts in adjustment will be deducted from debtors, but provision for bad debts given in trial balance will not be deducted. Okay. Here also I have shown you better. Just see it. That whatever is given in adjustment, that will be reduced from the debtors. But those which are given in trial balance will not be reduced. Those doesn't require to be reduced. All clear now? Same accounting format is there. If you are interested to prepare provision for discount on debtors account, that will have a same format. Two balance, buy balance brought down, two balance carried down, two discount. Here two bad debts के बदले में क्या आएगा? What will be replaced with this bad debts? Two discount on debtors, if any, by P&L account balance sheet. Same format is there, beta. Any doubt to anyone? Not clearly understood. So review it once again. There's no worry. If provision for discount on debtors is given in trial balance, that means for it is the opening balance, it will be credited to P&L account. Simple. Just remember it. अगर clear नहीं हो रहा तो याद कर लो कि provisions जो trial balance में given होती हैं वो opening balance होते हैं, चाहे वो discount on debtor की हो चाहे वो bad debts की हो, उसे आपने profit loss की credit side में डाल, और जो discount on debtor आपके पास adjustment में given है provision, उसे आपने प्रॉफिट लॉस की डेबिट साइड में डालना है और डेटर्स में से रिड्यूस करना है. याद ही करना है बेटा. अब याद तो मैं नहीं करूंगा आपके बदले में ना, याद तो आपको करना पड़ेगा, बस याद कर लो. नहीं समझ लग रहा है कोई टेंशन ना लो बेटा, इट इज ए पॉइंट टू बी रिमेम्बर्ड, नथिंग एल्स. याद भी हो जाएगा, समझ भी लग जाएगा, आज नहीं तो कल समझ लग जाएगा, क्योंकि मैंने समझाया है. आप एक बार मेरी वीडियो को दोबारा देखना, आपको समझ भी लग जाएगा दोबारा से. अमाउंट कैसे कैलकुलेट करनी है वो मैं बता रहा हूँ. अमाउंट कैलकुलेट करने के लिए डेटर सारी एडजस्टमेंट के बाद वाले लेने हैं, इनटू रेट बाय 100. Given in trial balance have single effect. Adjustment has two effect. Very good. Very right. Nikita, is that clear? चलो वापस चलते हैं. Provisions are done. Provision for depreciation also simple, very simple. Provision for depreciation. Now, whenever we are talking about provision for depreciation, what it means for? In this case, depreciation is not written off to asset account. When the entry was passed, depreciation account debit to asset, it was not passed as depreciation to asset. In this case, we have passed an entry depreciation account debit to provision for depreciation account. This is the logic. So it means for this will go to profit loss account debit side as normally done. And simultaneously, by passing this entry, we are not going to reduce it from the debtors as we are not going to reduce it from the fixed assets as we are doing in routine. Instead, what we have to do, we have show it in balance sheet liability side. Instead of reducing from the asset, normally we are passing this entry ना, everyone knows it, depreciation account debit to asset account. ये एंट्री तो सभी को आती है, इसमें तो बचपन से करते आ रहे हैं. It means for depreciation will go to profit loss account debit side and this will be reduced from the fixed asset in balance sheet as normal. But in case provision for depreciation account is created, minor changes there. Here what we have done, depreciation account debit to provision for depreciation. This is already done by you in the previous chapters. I know it very well. So very simple thing is there. Now what do we have to do, beta? If provision for depreciation is given in trial balance, that means for this is not the provision which has been created in the current year, because this means for this is the opening balance of provision. This is created in the last year. So what we have to do? This is a provision for depreciation account. This is not an expense account. So where it will go? This will go in the balance sheet liability side, because this will have a single treatment, and the single treatment will be what? Balance sheet liability side against the assets, because fixed assets are entered in the asset side. So this will be entered in the liability side. That's it. Simple treatment, single treatment. When this is given in adjustment, then what will be the entry? We know it very well. If he says we have created provision for depreciation account and we are interested to charge depreciation, so what we will do? Depreciation account debit to provision for depreciation account. So this entry will be passed. This means for what we have to do? Simple. We have to go for profit or loss account. Whatever depreciation we have calculated, that will be entered, because we know it very well. Depreciation always go to P&L account, and provision for depreciation is just contrary to the asset, so it will go into the liability side. Provision for depreciation. This is what this is opening balance, which is given in trial balance. So it will be shown here plus for depreciation, whatever is given adjustment beta, that will be added to it. So total provision will be shown in the liability side. Example, we can take an example for this also. There's no worry. Reserves and provisions are same or not? Reserves are basically profit kept aside. Provision is a provision meant for a loss or the expense charged against some asset, but not reduced from it for temporary purpose, just for the purpose of keeping assets at its fixed cost. That's it. If there is given closing stock in trial balance, then we have not taken opening stock also in trading account. In that case, opening stock will not be given in trial balance. Let it be very much clear. Anmol have a very great question. He says if closing stock is given in trial balance, then we need not to take opening stock also in trading account. No. Wait. In that case, opening stock will not be given in the trial balance. Okay. Why? There is something different. We'll discuss when this such type of question will come. I'll show you and let you understand. Depreciation is deducted in fixed assets, not debtors. Depreciation is a part of fixed assets. Okay? Can we deduct provision for depreciation from asset? Then what is the motto of creating this provision for depreciation account? Actually, provision for depreciation account is created so that we may keep depreciation and value of fixed assets separate. Otherwise, there's no need of creating such a great work. Such a extra entry is not required at all. So, but these books are doing it because they doesn't know practical accounting. I would like to say you. I would like to say you, these people doesn't know the practical accounting. Whatever you have done now, up to now, I would like to make you professionally capable accounting professional just within 50 hours. 50 घंटे में आप सारे प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंट्स बन सकते हो. मैं आपको अकाउंटिंग सिखा के बना सकता हूँ. और ये बुक्स पढ़ के हमें कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. ये तो सिर्फ हमने एग्जाम क्लियर करने, बेटा कर लो क्लियर, फिर आना मेरे पास, मैं आपको प्रैक्टिकल अकाउंटिंग करवाऊंगा, मजा आ जाएगा. ये सब किताबी बातें हैं जो हम कर रहे हैं. यू नीड नॉट टू वरी. Provision is created for future unexpected loss. Depreciation given in trial balance then comes in balance sheet liability side. Exactly, beta. Exactly, beta. Okay. I think this is all clear. So all these things are clear. Loss by fire is there. Chalo, leave it. We will discuss it in the next lecture. Next lecture will also be of final accounts. You need not to worry. These points are left. Whatever is left, I'll discuss it. You may do one thing. Just do some questions because today we doesn't have time to do the question. But you should have to do some questions like illustration number 5. You people have to do it. Illustration number 5 you must have to do. Then this is you may just read this arrangement because this is a very simple arrangement how to show assets and liabilities in balance sheet. This is a way of presentation. You may use any way. Both ways are allowed. There's no problem. You may go for anything. This is the best way, whatever we are using, because this will be applicable in companies also. This is a universal one. So this is a better option, permanence method. So I'm always preferring this one. Above one is not good because this is not applicable everywhere. This is only used in sole proprietorship forms, but we should have to go for those which are applicable everywhere. So this is a permanence presentation is always good. Capital reserve and surplus, outstanding expenses, etc. I think you people know about all these current assets, long-term assets, intangible assets, but must read it so that your knowledge must be upgraded with this. So read this classification of assets, beta. This is very good. Classification of assets and liabilities. This is mandatory for us to read so that we can understand each and everything conceptually. Come to me with doubts if there is any. This is a way of presentation. Do illustration number 6th, 7th. These all have been done today. All the points related to it have been done. 8th, 9th, 10th. You can easily do it. There's no worry. 11th, 12th. 12th is somehow technical. If you are able to do this, it will be great because in that case you have a confidence that you can solve it in exam also. 12th is an advanced one. I'll do it for you in the next lecture. You may also do it at your own. Coming to unsolved questions, come by solving these illustrations only. It is better, but do your illustrations on your copies. Solve yourself. Don't see it and assume that I have done it. Okay, because in case you assumes it, you are unable to do it practically in your exam. Must write it down. लिखना है बेटा, लिख के करनी है, ठीक है? किसी ने भी देख के नहीं करनी. Okay, so let's wait and watch. We'll go for good questions in our next lecture of final accounts because yet manufacturing account is to be done. So all that we will do in the next lecture and then we will proceed further. So preferably it will be covered in the next lecture. You may have to come with the illustration. We'll go for some unsolved questions in the next lecture. Any doubt, just send me. Everything is clear. Just send me the feedback. अब तक का सारा clear हो गया? किसी को doubt है तो बता दो. आई विल टेक द डाउट, अदरवाइज आई एम गोइंग टू स्विच ऑफ द क्लास। कोई डाउट है तो बताओ, नहीं तो क्लास स्विच ऑफ करें बेटा। थैंक यू कर दिया निकिता ने, इसका मतलब मुझे जाना चाहिए। कोई डाउट है और किसी को? हैविंग एनी डाउट जस्ट टेल मी। कोई भी डाउट है तो भेजो फटाफट फास्ट। कि थैंक यू कहना सभी ने, थैंक यू कह दो फिर देखा जाएगा। बताओ अभी कुछ भी डाउट है तो बोलो, अदरवाइज आई एम गोइंग टू क्लोज। वेटिंग फॉर योर आंसर्स। ऑल क्लियर, क्रिस्टल क्लियर, ऑल क्लियर, थैंक यू, नो सर, क्रिस्टल क्लियर। ये क्रिस्टल बड़ा अच्छा वर्ड है हमारे लिए ना। बाकियों को क्लियर नहीं हुआ, सभी ने नहीं भेजा। ऑल मस्ट सेंड वेदर इट एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर और हैविंग एनी डाउट। तो सभी भेजो भाई, बैठ के फीडबैक भी दो, बल्कि अच्छा रहता है, फीडबैक तो देनी चाहिए आप लोगों को। वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, शाबाश। वैसे भी आई एम फीलिंग वेरी गुड when I am seeing that all people are from different states. So it meant for I am not teaching to the IC students. I am teaching to the Indian students, which are available in all over the India. Every corner of India is there. So बड़ा मजा आ रहा है देख के भी और सुन के भी। गुड गुड गुड। दर्शन, व्हाट इज द डाउट बेटा? दर्शन प्लीज। डेप्रिसिएशन एडजस्टमेंट, डिप्रेशन एडजस्टमेंट नहीं है ये, डेप्रिसिएशन की एडजस्टमेंट है। एक बार दोबारा देख लेते हैं, डाउट है जिसको, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई मुश्किल नहीं है, बड़ी सिंपल है। देख लो एक बार, क्योंकि मैंने क्लास ऑफ तो करी नहीं, अभी देख सकते हो बेटा। डेप्रिसिएशन एडजस्टमेंट वेरी सिंपल, लेट इट बी वेरी मच क्लियर। When we are talking about depreciation means for an expense. So if it is given in trial balance, it means for it's an expense. But when provision for depreciation comes to us, it is a new picture. Provision for depreciation, if given in trial balance, what it is? It's by nature a provision against asset. So it will go to liability side. Let it be very much clear. If provision for depreciation is given in trial balance, that means for what it is. This is a provision against asset. So it will go to liability side beta. And when we are talking about if it is given in adjustment, this will be given as a 10% depreciation on fixed asset. So what we have to do, we have to calculate it. Whatever a 10% amount comes to us, we have to pass a journal entry depreciation to provision for depreciation, and accordingly we have to adjust it. Whatever provision for depreciation you have calculated, that will be entered as a depreciation in profit or loss account, because this is basically a depreciation, and also added to the previous year depreciation in your balance sheet liability side. That's it. Means it will go to debit side of P&L account and also credit side of balance sheet. That is liability side of balance sheet. That's it. This is the current year provision. Like he has given you that we have fixed asset in trial balance. It is given fixed asset 10 lakh, provision for depreciation in trial balance, provision for depreciation 2 lakh, and in adjustments he have given that a provision or depreciation to be entered at the rate of 10% on straight line method. So if it is to be entered on straight line method, that means for depreciation is equal to 10 lakh into 10% beta. So it is 1 lakh. So what we have to do is in profit or loss account, we have to enter depreciation debit side 1 lakh. In balance sheet, what we have to do? Fixed asset will remain at rupees 10 lakh as it is. There is no change. Provision for depreciation, opening balance is given to you. That is 2 lakh. Plus current year depreciation is to be entered 1 lakh. So it will be shown as 3 lakh beta. Is that clear, my dear? Someone has asked this query. It was asked by Darshan Sharma. Darshan, is that clear? So this depreciation of current year will be entered in this way. And previous year provision for depreciation, whatever is given to us, that is 2 lakh, will be shown as a opening balance in the balance sheet liability side. In that, we will add it. Okay. I think all are good. All are clear on every aspect. Sir, close the session. Thank you very much. Sir, close the session, Ji.